Issue 4. Friends with Stress. Finding ways to reduce stress in my life is an ongoing challenge. I've always been a high-strung, driven individual, what they call a Type A personality. When I'm willing to use it, the one tool that unfailingly alleviates stress for me is to surrender, give up, let go, let God or fate act on my behalf. Typically, I'm on my way to an appointment. Traffic is inching along because of roadwork or an accident, and I know I'll be very late. I'm getting more and more upset, to the point of physical action. My fists are clenched. My stomach is churning. I have a pounding headache. My face is becoming more and more flushed. I'm ready to blow my stack. When I finally realize how absurd my reaction is, I take a deep breath and surrender. I tell myself I'm in heavy traffic. There's a string of cars in front of me and another behind me, and none of them can go anywhere either. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just accept my powerlessness and soon become composed again. Or perhaps I'm swimming laps in the pool. Halfway through my workout, 2 new swimmers start crowding my lane, occasionally bumping into me. I lose my cool and end up gulping down water. I begin to feel exhausted. Eventually, though, I see the irony in the situation. Here I am, swimming to reduce stress and to enjoy myself, but the very opposite is occurring. Then I can surrender, relax, and regain my rhythm.
Comprehension. 1. What is the narrator's best tool to relieve stress? 2. How does he calm himself in heavy traffic? 3. Why is his attitude in the swimming pool ironic?
Let's talk. 1. What does being friends with stress mean? 2. What causes stress in your case? 3. How do you cope with stress? 4. What do other people do to alleviate stress that you know of? 5. Some people say they enjoy stress. What do you think they mean? 6. What kinds of stress do you cause for yourself? Which ones do others put on you?
Opinion samples. 1. Other people trying to impose their own pace on me is what causes me the most stress. I know how to get things done, but I know what my limitations are. If left alone, I know that there is nothing I can't accomplish within my field of expertise. But every task has its own personality and is not amenable to somebody's arbitrary time constraints. So when someone puts pressure on me to hurry up, I start to lose my concentration on the details and I start to make silly mistakes, and then I have to go back and redo what I should have done right the first time. I guess I just march to the beat of a different drum and wish others would recognize that fact and let me do my own thing in my own way. We'd all be a lot happier and better off that way. Question: what are the advantages and disadvantages of going at one's own pace?
2. Most people are just slackers and bellyachers. They are basically lazy and don't like to be told what to do. On their own, they would never accomplish anything. Me too, I guess, if left to my own devices. I admit it, but I respond well to pressure. The harder the job is, the better I do it. When the adrenaline starts a-flowin', I become like Superman, with no task too difficult, no job too demanding. It's like what the Marines say. We do the difficult all the time, but the impossible just takes a little longer. So, as for me, I welcome stress. It motivates me to excel. I thrive on it, and as a result, I enjoy the fruits of my success. Question: how is stress related to success? Issue 4. Friends with Stress.
Stress can be momentum for a successful life.
Really? How so?
In the same way that necessity is the mother of invention, it is a constant prod to accomplishment.
You mean that you think if people are left to their own devices, they won't get much done on their own?
Sure, it's just like societies. People who live in pleasant weather conditions where food is plentiful, so they never have to work very hard to survive, usually don't amount to much. Their natural indolence is not punished in any Darwinian or environmental sense. But the groups who have to struggle constantly are the ones who generally accomplish the most. They have to work hard just to exist, and the diligence itself pays high dividends.
How does that relate to stress?
Well, nobody wants stress. We would all prefer to take a nice nap when we're tired or take a day off now and then to relax. But if we're under a lot of pressure to produce some result, we'll ignore our natural laziness in order to get it done.
Won't the expectation of success do the same thing?
Are you asking if virtue is its own reward?
No, that only works with a few individuals. But don't people work hard to get ahead?
There are two principles that guide human behavior, hope and fear. One works better than the other for different people. But most folks respond more strongly to just one of them, fear. Fear of being fired or losing status will motivate more people than the desire for self-promotion. Nevertheless, both principles entail stress. The difference is that in one case, the stress is generated externally, and in the other, internally.
Questions. 1. What is the difference between working out of the expectation of reward and believing that virtue is its own reward? 2. What are the most motivating factors according to the passage? 3. How is the stress produced by each of those two factors different?